Greetings, fellow outsiders, and welcome to the courtroom of Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy. Phoenix Wright, the Ace Attorney Trilogy. It's actually not my first time jumping into this game, but if it is your first time watching a playthrough of this or playing the game yourself, I would very much recommend avoiding spoilers because this is a lot of fun. Okay, so the Ace Attorney Trilogy, we have Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and then Trials and Tribulations. We're gonna start with the first game, which is Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. And episode 1, the first turnabout. Yes, please. Damn it! Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. I've got to find someone to pin this on. You. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. Nailing the voice acting. August 3rd, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Phew. Oh, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you. That you're stupid, and your client as well. Thanks? Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Yeah. Actually, I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out in any way I can. I really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over. My life, everything, it's all over. Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death of despair! Ah! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! Sounds like he wants to die? Yeah. Nick! Hey. Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Tell him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What? What's wrong, Larry? Oh, it's all over. I'm finished. I can't live in a world without her. I can't. Who took her away, Nick, from me? Who took her away? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me who took my baby away. The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspapers say it was you. He's so cute. My name's Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. In the 23 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself into trouble. One thing I can say, though, usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's a good guy at heart. That, and I owe him one, which is why I took on the case, to clear his name. And that's just what I'm gonna do. August 3rd, 10 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, this is your first trial, is it not? Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Well, to be honest, I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during this trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Gulp. Hands shaking, eyesight fading, mom's spaghetti. The test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case.
The defendant is Larry Butts.
The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me what the victim's name. What's the victim's name? Oh, phew. I know this one. Glad I read over their case report together so many times. It's... Oh, wait. Uh-oh. No. Oh, no way. I forgot. I'm drawing a total blank here. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim! Of course, I know the victim's name. I just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press tab to check on it at any time, okay? Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? It is Cindy. Cindy is the name of the victim. Cindy, cinder block. It's Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was, hit with a blunt object. I don't even need to check the case record. We saw it in the cutscene before. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. Well then. First, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne. Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what that object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepts it into evidence. Statue added to the court record. Right? Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. That evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use tab to check the court record frequently. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls to the defendant, Mr. Butts, to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Hey there. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Didn't they all die? I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls or seeing me, ever. What's it to you anyway? Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies, all of it. It's lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Indeed. She appears to have returned the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies, as they say, legally. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support their lifestyle. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Watch it, Payne! Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Right. I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I wait and see what happens or stop him from answering? Let's wait and see what happens. It's more interesting at the very least. Might be better not to get involved in this one. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, no way! That cheating she-dog! Okay, maybe I should have intervened. I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I met her in the afterlife, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Next question. You went to the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did and maybe I didn't. Uh-oh. He went. What do I do? Have him answer honestly or stop him from answering? You know what? Lay it all on the table, Larry Butts. Mr. Butts. Do it. Show us your butts. I know, I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order. Well, Mr. Butts. Dude, chill. She was an old man, so like I didn't see her. Objection! Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order. Order in the court. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please, Mr. Please, what am I saying? Please bring Mr. Frank Saw It to the stand. Because he saw the murder. Mr. Sawit, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sawit, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. Witness testimony. All right. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it was strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving. She was dead. I quailed in fright and I found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment, it wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1:00 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why was the phone in the victim's apartment working? Why wasn't it working, I meant to say. Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sawit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Blackout recorded. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes! Yes, Your Honor. You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? All right, this is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness testimony. Then, once you found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with tab, then point out the contradictions in the testimony. Let's do it! Mr. Saw It? I don't think you actually saw it. Witness account. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing the apartment. Can I just press all of these? Does it, like, penalize me? Isn't a man leaving an apartment a common sight? I found it odd you would take notice of him. Yeah. I don't know, he just seemed strange to me, that's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time. Just like a criminal fleeing from the scene of a crime. The defense requests that the witness refrain from conjecture. Of course. What the witness means is that he saw a man who looked suspicious. So what happened next? I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Hold it! Half open, you say? Yes, the door was open halfway. Yes. I watched for a moment, but then no one came to close the door. That's odd in a big city like this, I thought. I see. And what happened next? Wait, let me look at the stuff before we continue. I think I'm probably gonna press it because then we'll get all of the dialogue anyway. Statue, it's the thinker, rather heavy. Passport from Paris on 7:30, the day before the murder. Electricity to Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6 p.m. on the day of the crime. Autopsy report, time of death was 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Okay, well, I already see something here because 1 p.m. he said that he made the phone call. The time of death is 4 p.m. So I'm still gonna press everything because, like I said, we'll get more dialogue, but I think the 1 p.m. is the thing that I'm supposed to be calling out here. What gave you the idea to do that? Well, the door was half open, you see. Isn't it only human to want to peek? We climb mountains because they are there. It's the same thing. True words have never been spoken. Anyone would look inside. Why did pain cut him off so quickly? So you looked inside the apartment. What happened then? Then I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving, dead. Hold it! How do you know she was dead? Are you sure she was dead? That's exactly what he said. Well, no, I guess I wasn't. But she wasn't moving at all and there was blood everywhere. I guess that would look fatal to anyone. Very well, what happened next? I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. Hold it! So you didn't touch anything in the apartment? Yes. I mean, no, nothing. I didn't touch anything. Okay, what happened next? I thought to call the police immediately. Hold it! Why would you call the police for a murder? You thought to call the police. Does that mean you didn't actually call them? Phoenix. Please, listen to the rest of the testimony. You thought to call the police. What happened next? Okay, I changed my mind instead, because this is all just kind of like continuing with it. I'm gonna call out the time by presenting the evidence, which is her autopsy report. Let's present it. Objection! You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement, it directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes at the time of the death. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was nobody to, no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Objection! This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After this testimony, I find it hard to believe. Mr. Saw It. Why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, it's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out the contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. see-through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait! I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? All right, we're gonna get his testimony again. What did you see this time, Mr. Sawit? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but there was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a videotaped program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Oh, terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Okay. I see. You heard a voice saying that the time was taped on the program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. But it was a power blackout! It was a power blackout! During that time, which was 12 to whatever, so it would cover the time of the murder and 1 p.m., right? You know what to do. I know exactly what to do! I've got this one. Let's do it. Cross-examination. The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. But I have evidence that says otherwise. Excuse me. Electricity was out. Objection! Hold it right there. The prosecution has said that there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video! Ah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Sawit? No, I find it quite puzzling myself. Oh, quite. Ah! Wait. Oh, I remember now. Mr. Sawit, the court would prefer to hear accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies. There must have been a shock of finding the body. Yes. Very well, Mr. Sawit. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. I got you now. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I missed that first line. I apologize. There was a table clock in the apartment. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. He's getting more nervous. Look at him sweating. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? But, like, wouldn't there still be a blackout? Or, no, table... Oh, okay. Let me look at the evidence really quick. Time of death, cause of death, loss due to blunt trauma, my attorney's badge, I can just present that. Statue in the shape of the thinker, it's rather heavy. Victim appeared home from Paris. Okay. I'm just looking at what we have right now. There's a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, that's the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim, but that wasn't the murder weapon. The murder weapon was this. A statue. Objection! Objection! Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock. It was a statue. Now how's this supposed to be a clock? Ah! You with your objections and your evidence. What do you think this is, a court of law? Just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Sawit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, the statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You tilt it and it just says the time out loud. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submitted it as a statue. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. I apologize. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Yes. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. I just don't see it yet. The only way he could have known the weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. I do know. And the witness testified that he has never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he knew the victim or went into the apartment. Ooh. I'm gonna go knew the victim. I think that's more damning evidence. Tell me, isn't it true that you knew the victim? In fact, you were one of our sugar daddies. Be frank with us, Mr. Sot. I don't know if I'd make that jump. Frank? I'm always frank. Your Honor. We have complete records of the victim's relationships. Mr. Frank Sot does not appear anywhere. Huh? Oh, really? Please, Mr. Wright. Is the best response you can muster up? Try to refrain from making off-the-cuff accusations in the future. Yes, Your Honor. Let me think this over. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with the clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard. I love it when I'm right. Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sod, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. The witness cared to elaborate. Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never, the clock I heard, no, I mean, I saw us. Shut up, I hate you. It was him, I tell you, I saw him. He killed her and then he should burn, give him death. Your Honor, this man has a toupee. This is record of him lying to people. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright, Your Honor, you claim the sound of the witnesses. You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I'd better think through it carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sot heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply examine the clock's batteries, ask the neighbors, or try sounding the clock. Wouldn't it be try sounding the clock? Because it would tell the time, and if it was like 3 hours before, let me do that one. Let's sound the clock now, here, in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. Beep. I think it's 8:25. This certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Ah! As you can see, this clock is actually 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sot heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sot, try to talk your way out of this one. Ah! You forgot one thing. Uh-oh. What's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? You can't prove that. You don't have a case. He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it! I was so close. Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. I do. That means I cannot let you indict the witness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sot. I come all the way down here to testify and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal! A criminal! The lawyers are all slime. Ugh, I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sot. Chief! Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think, like the thinker. But Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slowed the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure it out the reason and you'll have proof. Right? Right. Can you think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? It's like Dora the Explorer. Can you show me where the clock was 3 hours slow? Yes, I can. I'm smart. Big brain moves. What? Maybe I can prove it. I must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let him have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. I think it's this one. You want to know why? Because she came home from Paris! And there's a time difference, I'm assuming. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. When it's 4 p.m. here, it's 1 a.m. the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast! The victim hasn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in her apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sot, or should I say, Mr. Did it! Should we call like an ambulance or something? Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness, he was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find the true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you. You didn't have to say that. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. Yay! We brought the confetti cannons into court. This is kind of cool. And with that, this court is adjourned. Thank you. So proud of myself. Turns out that Frank Sot was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sot let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sot grabbed the nearest blunt object he could find. August 3rd, 2:32 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Oh, I still can't believe we won! Right! Good job in there. Congratulations! Thanks, Chief. I owe everything to you. Oh, not at all, not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen a trial end on such a satisfying note. I've never seen the Chief looking this happy. If she's this glad, imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Oh, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no. I mean, bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Never mind. Congratulations, Harry. Harry. Yes, you! I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts. Innocent. Yeah. Oh, thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner, movie, my treat. Maybe a little kiss. Oh, no, I couldn't. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento of the gruesome murder. Yo, Nick! Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Don't that make you just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. No, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? It's this! She had the statue! Take that! And she took it with her to Paris! Aw. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chump to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry. And she took it with her when she traveled. Oh, whatever. She probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, think of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. I hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realize things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen. Learn. Grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me. We'll drink a toast to an innocent Butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry. You were part of what? Sorry, Harry Butts is just a funny gag. You were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him. Yeah. Part, at least. You have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over drinks? And so my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave me. I didn't know it then. But that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident. And my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. The end. It's the end of our case. We helped Larry Butts. And that closes our very first case with Larry Butts. What a lovable guy, am I right? There's a lot more fun characters to come in future chapters, so I hope you guys are ready for those. But meanwhile, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and let me know in the comments below. But on that note, I'm gonna go ahead and say farewell, friends. Thank you so much for being here. Remember, we're not alone out there, and I will see you guys in the next episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. One day I'll get the title right.